go.
Season
It's been a
3,
while.
episode 3.
I know. How's Hawaii, Darin? Now you're on the East Coast.
I know. It was obviously an amazing time. It wasn't with my, I didn't have my family and kids. I wish I had them, but with the newborn, it was just not going to really work out. And then I don't usually travel back to back, but so I'm
dude, Sarah's
different
just
time zone now.
Dealing with
dang, bro. I know that's
She had her parents though. Her parents were there for the last week, and then this week it's just kind of like, not the long. I flew out last night and I fly back Friday morning. Johnny, pull up some of these standings because I want to. Yeah, we can't go long time because I'm.
I know it's late for you.
Early.
That's right. I know we don't need to. We have to go into every single match up here.
But there's a lot. There's a lot to talk about, and the leagues. Maybe this league standings is like where we should start and just. Chat about that
because you're at the top.
No, because but no, there's been a mad shuffle. I mean, Phillip has you're like coming in, your projected points are like, I mean, this week they've normalized a little bit, but you were projecting like 169 points or something.
Yeah, it was a lot. I don't know, man, but they blew it.
I had to give.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
They blew it this week. Yeah, they're back to normal because I got Rashee Rice and Jamar Chase on bye. So
yeah, you guys are playing each other. That's right. Okay, yeah, that was probably the game of the week. I mean, that one was the closest, except for I guess Justin's and Josh's was super close, within 5 points. It looks like maybe a little bit closer, but you guys both scored a lot. Could have beaten some of the other teams. Had you been matched up against
that was a really important game for me because I was on a 2-week losing streak, had like guys kind of out on bye and injury, and Phil was just scraping everybody off. So I needed to with that win though, it's like I'm back on the streak hopefully, but Justin Kenyon, I mean, that guy went 0-3 and now he's 6-0.
Yeah, man. 0-2.
Well, yeah.
6 in a row, right? I know the one thing that this screen doesn't show is like what your what kind of streak you're on, right? Like most people are just one lost one, lost one, lost one. But so Justin's won 6 in a row. Ian's won 2 in a row. And if you look at the very bottom, we got Isaiah. Man, he's having a tough time. It's 7 in a row, 7 losses in a row. So that's another. Well, after starting 2-0, he started 2-0, and then he's just been, it's just been downhill since then, which has been wild. I've actually got it on my little sheet here. Everyone's win-loss total as we've been going along.
Wow.
Here, just to kind of see like
the game of
trend,
the game of the week, I think, is definitely Nick and Phil because they're both. They've tied before, and their records are matching 6-2-1.
Right.
And somebody's going to have to take that. Yeah.
Dang, you're going to
Rashee Rice for you is crazy, though.
Yeah, man.
I think there's a little bit of a lag.
That's the top 4 teams right there. So the top 4 teams are going head-to-head this week. That'll be good for the rest of us. Those of us that are in the middle here. We need you guys. We need one of you guys to take a loss here, and then potentially, Tyler or Ian could be moving up. Maybe me. I'm lagging a little bit, but it's
Ian's making his way back. He's on a 2-win streak. He's
he's in playoffs.
His bearings.
It looks like we're gonna have at least one team, probably 2, that have a losing record, or or even 500, 7-7. Playoffs in the playoffs, just the way it's shaping up.
Rashee Rice for Phil, like that is actually a really strong pickup for a 5th round draft pick. Like that's crazy. That guy's been going off since he's back. Like he's producing 1st round draft pick numbers.
Oh yeah, man.
Why?
Dang. And what round was
Is it
that?
because there's just such a scramble? There's just been such a scramble on the Chiefs to get any decent wide receivers. Like, what are your thoughts on that, Phil?
No, man, the Chiefs, they were doing well. They had like Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, I don't know, probably some other guys, and they were just distributing it around. And then as soon as Rashee Rice came back, they just like designed the offense around him. And so I think that's how it was during training camp. And some of the reports, I think like he had just, because last year he broke his leg or had a knee injury, and I was listening to a podcast, I think on the way to the draft, and I was like, all right, I got to get this guy. So I went for him. And I totally like forgot about suspension.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I know. And you made some noise about that. We had to rule against you on that one.
Yeah, dude,
I mean, it was.
I was going to disagree because you guys said it's only for the 4th round pick, but he was my.
Yeah,
It was like I was on the turn, so it was like 4 or 5. So it was basically my 4th round pick. If I just picked him,
so
one,
it was up to 4. Yeah, it was the cutoff was round 4, and the risk was known beforehand. Like the news broke prior to the draft, so like there was an assumed risk that you could have been aware of. The thing that sucks for you though this week is you're facing. This is like a critical matchup, you and Nick, and you have both Rashee Rice and Jamar Chase on bye.
Yeah, I know, dude. And he's trying to like get me to trade away my best running back.
Playing Nick, right? So let's see. What do you got? You got a lot of players on bye.
My 2 best players, the top 2 receivers in the him and Rashee.
Man, was May your
starter? Let's just do like a
starter from the beginning. I mean, man, that's been a good pick. I would have been a little weird.
Someone else picked him up, and I didn't draft a quarterback. I got lucky.
I had him. What?
Someone had him, dropped him. Like, all right, I'm going to take him.
I had him.
Why don't we do this? Let's just do a 2-minute quick like speed round on everybody, and just go down and just like give our opinions and thoughts.
Right. And I was thinking you. And then, like, are they going to continue this trajectory, kind of stay where they're at in the standings, or has this been?
Yeah, just like overall feel like what's exactly where are they gonna? Right. How's the season going to shape out? Are they kind of locked where they're at? Or are they coming up? Are they trending up or down? And then I've got to get to bed. But
let's start with you real quick. I mean, I don't see any reason why. So you've only your 2 losses have actually come recently, right? So look at my little sheet here. So there's potential there could be some trouble your way. It could be you could be potentially going 500 the rest of the way.
I don't know, man. Darren's
not going to miss playoffs or whatnot.
Wait, that's not even realistic, Johnny. Why 500? Where's that coming from?
Yeah, dude, he's got Puka Nacua.
Half the season's over. Right? There's like 6 games left, something like that, right? Well, more.
And you think I'm going to lose out? You think I'm
not lose out? But no, like you could go win loss, and it's possible. But no, I mean your team's definitely solid. You've had the benefit of not dealing with a lot of injury, major injury.
You got James Conner.
I had Nacua out, and I had Benson. That's the Arizona starting running back. They were out, and then Egbuka. I think he was also. What happened to him?
Yeah, he missed a couple games, or just no.
He's been banged up.
But guys that I knew were decent but didn't expect the performance I've been getting out of them are Pittman and Waddle. Like Michael Pittman over the last 3 games has averaged 21 points. It's like 20, 23, 20.
The Colts are cooking, man. That was a missed opportunity on my end, like not taking more Colts, like not thinking that was going to be a step forward team.
Yeah, no one thought it would be a thing.
Like, dang, that was good. But yeah, no, I think for you, Darin, like how are you feeling? Because I mean, after 2 years, it probably feels good. After 2 years of kind of like being in the middle, you were always,
Well, I don't know if I was like a middle guy. I think I was always I always had a hot start and then faced like injuries. That kind of
the first year didn't go well. I remember, right? Did you miss playoffs that year? I think, or maybe you just skimmed it. But
I was right on the cusp of playoffs. That I think I finished second last year or something, and then the year before I was right on the cusp of playoffs. If points alone out for the rest of the season because I had like podiumed the rest of the season, so I just missed it. But no, the thing that I'm looking at is like Phil and Nick have obviously had really strong performances, and now Justin Kenyon.
Mhm.
I just timed out Phil decent. I think that could have gone either way. I think my guys are tending to perform above what they're projecting, and Phillip's guys are performing maybe a little below, and the timing just wasn't great for him this
Right.
week. So it's like that could have gone either way. And then Nick obviously has been performing pretty well. So I think
They're right on
if you look, when I win, I podium typically. So my team's been performing, but I'm just hoping guys can stay healthy. I feel good. I think obviously playoffs are a lock, but it's anyone's game. It's anyone's game in playoffs.
6 spots. You have to have major injuries to probably miss the playoffs. But one thing that could unseat you from the 1 seed is like both so like Phil, you and Nick, you guys tied week 1, right? And both of you guys are at the top, right? It'd be interesting if one of you were at the bottom, right? But you're both there, so you just have to end up with the same number of losses as Darin, and you'd have the 1 seed, over him, or Justin or somebody else, right? Based on that tie, like that could potentially be an advantage.
Maybe.
I don't think so. I think it's about the wins. You have to. It's whoever has more W's, because
if they had the same amount of W's and one less loss or whatever, right? It could come down to
no,
that.
because if we have the same wins, well, yeah, I guess
if you both had 10 wins,
2 losses and a tie.
You had 4 losses, he had 3 and a tie. He's going to get that 1 seed. Or Nick. So it's like you got to fend both of these guys off. That's going to be the interesting.
Yeah, let's go to Phil, because we got to respect the 2-minute time.
What about that trade, Phil? Like it was, I know that was.
Yeah, he wanted Kyron Williams, who's like my number 1 running back, and that's like the spot where I'm pretty weak. I got a bunch of them, but
Dude,
nothing good. He wanted to give me George Pickens. Dude, George Pickens is only doing well because CeeDee Lamb was hurt, and then like his production exploded, and Ferguson. So Nicky J was definitely benefiting from that one so I wasn't biting. I wasn't about to give up my number 1 running back. Although I got to put that
you got Kenneth Walker, I guess, and Hubbard. Is Hubbard producing?
No, dude, he just lost a starting role to Dowdle. Kenneth Walker's splitting carries. He's not doing that good.
Right. He is. Yeah, he has not been.
So,
by committee. But, yeah, Smith and Jigma, though, man, that was a winner. You probably – where did you pick him? 4th round? Dude, he should have gone in the first 5-6 picks,
Yeah, man.
He's been amazing, He definitely
I just lost my starting tight end. Tucker Kraft is out for the year.
Yeah, I saw that. That's tough.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I've had a good year so far, but –
Phil's a lock for playoffs, obviously.
Yeah, I think top 3 teams. Yeah, definitely a lock. I mean, I guess Any closing thoughts, Phil?
He'll have to figure out his tight end situation.
Yeah.
He's got your depth is okay. Your depth is okay, but you've got a lot of guys. I mean, you've got Gadsden, and you can always backfill that flex spot with a number of kind of 10-point guys.
No, I mean, I've got like if you scroll down to my bench, that's my lineup this week. Like I think I'm good for flexes. I'm just not good at tight end.
Oh, and then you have Chase. Yeah. So you've been starting him? Yeah, he's doing good. Okay. Despite Burrow going down, Flacco stepping in. I mean, yeah, he's been producing.
Yeah, I was worried about that, but yeah, we can move on.
Okay. Yeah. No.
You'll go first, and then we'll go down the order.
Yeah, down to you. And
Johnny's take, Phil's take, my take. Okay, go.
Yeah, I think he hasn't had too many major injuries that I can remember. I mean, these guys have all stayed pretty healthy. Kittle, Diggs, Smith. Adams he's been a good pickup for the most part. And then Robinson he was scorching at first, kind of cooled off like a little bit, but so that could be potentially concerning. But there's a lot of games left. But yeah, I mean, overall, good for Nick, right? I mean, like the first 2 years were pretty rough. He was kind of out of it, kind of from the get go, right? First 5-6 games, he had a lot of losses and was like fighting uphill, So man, I'm happy for him. I'm like, man, hopefully he beats y'all asses and then he takes home the money. How about that? For a take.
All right, Phil. Hot take, Phil.
All right, it's my hot take, and then I got to go put my kids down. My hot take on Nick is that I stood next to him while we drafted, and he kind of upset me because he's like, "Oh, you don't need a quarterback. You don't need a quarterback." And then he drafted 2, back to back, and so I was waiting for him to drop one at the beginning of the season, and then he never dropped them.
He never dropped it.
My kids are having a meltdown here, so Nick's got a good team. He's got Bijan, but I think like that CD injury, like really he benefited from him, and things are about to normalize for him. So
you need one of his tight ends. You need one of his tight ends.
Yeah,
he's
got
got
three. Tyler Warren's looking good.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys, I got to go. Say goodnight.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for hopping
It was good seeing you, man. Thanks for joining. All right. We can go lightning fast here. So
yeah. Here's my take on Nick. I wonder if Dynasty's over or if he'll survive. I mean, he's suffered a lot of injuries. I think he's got the right folks in some spots, but yeah, I don't know. He's rocking 3 tight ends at this point, all scoring, kind of mediocre.
Right.
I don't know.
I know. He's got a lot of time.
This next week, I think will really show us if he's got what it takes to survive or not, because he's got Bijan, he's got Devontae Adams, he has a couple good tight ends, but he's got a good kicker, decent defense. He's got a full. I mean, I think it's his running back RB. One of his
Love
RB
has been
spots
good.
that.
Oh man, 10 points. I mean, I guess Love's been a little spotty, maybe, but it's I mean, he's definitely lost the playoffs.
Let's go to Justin.
Yeah, but we'll see once he gets to the playoffs. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, Justin's probably been the most impressive. I mean, Daniel Jones. Did he draft him? He added him. Daniel Jones was just available. Added him off the waivers, and he's been amazing. I mean, man, 20 points every week almost. Good running backs. Let's see, who has he got on the bench? Yeah, he's got CeeDee Lamb, right? So he's got some stars. 2 kickers, that's interesting. He's got Brandon Aubrey on the bench. Ayuk, I don't know if was he planning on Ayuk coming back? He's actually going to play.
By the way, Nick just traded Pickens for Genti and Kamara. I think I'm going to block that trade.
You are?
That what on earth? That doesn't make any sense.
Is it down here?
Genti is performing.
Oh,
Genti's doing.
That's the same thing that Ian offered me. He offered me those same 2 players. He was trying to get Gibbs for me, and then now he's
hurting for a receiver.
I thought he really wanted a number 1 running back. That was like that was what he's telling me was his goal. But yeah, Pickens, I don't know. I think Ian's
put in the chat. I'm blocking that.
I'm blocking that. I think he wants to just spice things up a little bit. He's like, nobody made a trade. Last year, like we need to make some trades.
Well,
other people will follow suit.
Yeah, Nick needs depth, and Ian needs just probably a running back or receiver, whoever he got. But so yeah. Justin is a lot of respect for him right now because he started out cold as ice, and he's been making moves. He's been trying to build the roster. I don't know if he can hang on. I think it's probably lucked out for him in his schedule, the way that his roster stacks out right now.
Yeah.
I think he's going to find his way into playoffs though, and he'll get a shot any given day. So mad respect for him for scratching his way back to the top of like that kind of middle herd, where now he's at 6 wins. So, he could easily podium at the end of the season if he hangs on, to that.
Look at that waiver money.
Yeah,
he's been going. I mean, man, he's got nothing left.
Yeah. Why don't you kick us off with Tyler?
Yeah. So with Tyler, man, I think his record should be better than it is. I feel like, because his team is solid. Like Charbonnet's been the number 1 back. McCaffrey's obviously been great. Flowers was really good early, but then when Lamar got hurt, that probably hurt Tyler. When Lamar was out. Olave with the Saints not being good at all, like that doesn't help him. And then Stevenson, he's been sharing carries, so he'd see if he's got anybody on the bench. But yeah, I think his team's definitely been like solid performers, but it depends on who he's played, right? Like at the beginning, was the first 2 weeks of the year he scored like 150 plus and lost both games, something like that, right? So let's say he wins those two, he'd be 6-3, right? Right up there with Justin and you guys, So
Yeah.
I think he's right in it. I think Tyler, and you see him working. I mean, he hasn't been spending any waiver money, but I noticed he's picked up players after the waivers are over. He's like, you guys go spend your money or whatever, and then I'll just pick with from
well,
what's
he
left or
he
whatnot.
suffered a 1 point. He suffered a 1 point loss week 1, and then he scored 148 points week 2 and lost. So it's like he could have 2 more wins.
He easily at least one, and that would. I mean, but he's in playoff. Man, the playoff line's right here, right? Even Ian, as bad as the season was going, I mean, Ian, I had it right here, right? He won 2 of his first 4 games and then lost, a bunch after that, right? And then now, and then just recently,
he's
2-game winning streak, right? So he's
and Tyler put up 181 points week 7. So Tyler's not to be messed with. If he can consistently get some dubs, I mean, he won against Isaiah though at 122 points. So I think he's going to hover right outside of the podium and kind of be, hold down that 5th or 6th spot if he keeps doing what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not.
Not bad for him.
But
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, no, I think overall, all things considered, for him, those close losses to still be in playoff position is pretty good. So, but yeah, so Ian, yeah. So as I was saying, he's like, it looked like Ian was doing really well, and I think I picked him at the beginning in that first podcast to be like a juggernaut. I was like, yeah, Ian will probably be top 3. He had some major injury, right? Maybe did he have Burrow or something like that?
He's swapped his roster so many times by now. It's like, who knows?
He might have had
what
Burrow, something like that. But yeah, Sam, picking up Sam, he was totally available. Anybody could have picked Sam up, and he's been good, for the most part. I mean, hit some lower point games, but yeah, I think he's light on running back. That's why I think he's been trying to make moves. I don't understand why he traded for another receiver, to be honest. I thought he needs, if he gives up. So if he gave up and Kamara, who would be his other running back? Chris.
Yeah, I think the way he's thinking is a standout performer better than like 2 mids, but he didn't really trade away mids. And he still has like good bench. I mean, he's got Garrett Wilson too. I mean, I don't know on his bench, but Ian will fight and scratch. The thing is, it's kind of like musical chairs. So you don't want to be swapping guys around and then get left with, no seat where his guys, he swapped around too much and he's got nothing. But I mean, he's going to be fighting and scratching. He's on a 2-win streak. If he can secure that 6th place spot, which there's space for him. He scored 162 points last week. He's climbing. It went for the last 4 weeks. He's went from 94 to 103 to 127 to 162. So he's building momentum. We're seeing more points out of him. If he can maintain, above like that 145 mark, he can get some moves.
Yeah, Laporta had a nice game. Darnold too. But yeah, no, I think he's right in it, but I know Josh and I are coming, so like I guess getting into Josh. So Josh, his last 3, he's lost 1 loss, right? So he's kind of teetering a little bit. 3 and 6. Let's see, what did he score this last week?
103.
Yeah, pretty low.
He gave Justin a win at 107 against them.
Yeah, he had a player that started and then he either got injured or just didn't get targeted.
But the week before, what's crazy is the week before he had the highest score all season against me. He gave me a loss with 191 points, and then the guy gives Justin a win with 107 points.
Yeah, 107. I know. Man, my game against Justin too was both of us were really low scoring, and he ended up eking me out by less than 10 points or something. But we both kind of didn't deserve to win that week. What was 191. So what was the difference there? So Jonathan Taylor went off, Jonathan and Cook went off as well. So, and then the Buccaneers defense scored almost 30 points. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty boomer bust, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Nico Collins.
I think that's what
boomer bust is probably summarizes pretty good. Kind of, it's the same story with
the
me.
thing is he's had, he's kind of hovering around that 130 mark, 120 to 140, and it's just hit and miss because I don't know. It just depends on the week that he's playing, folks, I guess. But the last week, 103, you're not going to win games like that. The boomer bust is tough. If he can kind of like stabilize around that higher mark, it'll be interesting to see. Josh is going to have to luck out or fight his way in, but he's right on the edge there for playoffs. So,
right.
I mean, I don't know. He's capable of
even just one win. I mean, if he wins, Ian loses next week. I mean, he's in the 6th seed, right? I think same for me. We're both, it could be interchangeable here, but yeah, I just looking at my notes now. It's he's actually lost 5 of 6. So it's hopefully he can turn it around. But he's been spending a little money. There's not too much out there on the waiver wire at this point, right? Late in the season, but hopefully, and then Jaden Daniels, he could drop him and pick somebody up or whatnot. But yeah, we shall see. I know Josh. Josh was kind of in a similar place last year, I guess, right? You kind of lower half, if I remember.
I know. I thought it was going to be different this year. He came out.
Ended up in the punishment.
Strong.
We gotta talk about the punishment too. So okay, let's get through this quick. So we don't spend too much time on. Yeah. I'm kind of the same as Josh. Boomer bust. My last 5, I've 2 and 3 out of in my last 5. So I think I still have an outside chance of getting that 6th seed because I've got some. I've got Gibbs, Bowers. Man, Bowers went off this week. 43 points. So if he could just keep it consistent, like in the 20s, and then Gibbs could give me more. But I've had to do a lot of work on my roster. I've had a couple injury. Hampton went out. I had another guy that Cam Scatabo. Man, I was really excited about Scatabo. And he was putting up more than just the numbers he was putting up. It was just fun to watch, and it was just. And then, you guys actually broke the news that to me on the text thread. I hadn't seen the play, and I was like, when I saw it, though,
What's crazy is you go 2 losses, 1 win, 2 losses, 1 win. So you got 2 losses forecasted ahead of you right now.
Exactly.
When you win, it's like really you should have one more win because you lost with 153 points.
I did.
That.
Yeah.
That should be
I'm still in it, but if I this is kind of the critical juncture for both. I know Isaiah's kind of on the outside, but Tony, me, and Josh are all, if we could rattle 2, win on 2 of the next 3 or whatnot, right? Or there's 6 games left. If you can go 4 and 2, you could possibly make the playoffs, pretty much, But it's probably going to take that. You can't go 3 and 3.
The tough part for you is you've got a great tight end, you've got a great RB1, you've got a decent QB, but your RB2 mediocre, 11 points. Your receivers, your receiver 1 and 2, you don't have any standouts, and then your flex is all kind of mid. So it's like you could pick up at least one, high team receiver. Good. I think it would look different.
Higgins had a good week. That's probably why I won this week. Was Higgins went off. It might not be my year, but it's okay. I told Ashley I already made some money on the DraftKings. Made back my deposit money on the league.
Oh, nice. All right, well, let's jump into Tony. Okay. So
Tony, okay, real quick, last 5. He is same as me. So he's 2 and 3 in his last 5. He won the first week, then rattled off 4 straight losses, and then he's been win-loss. So he's teetering just like Josh and I, but just like I said, if he wins the next 2 weeks or something, right? He's right up in there, 4th, 5th, or 6th seed. His means he had somebody else in there. His
squad actually should be doing better. I mean, he's got he's got Derrick Henry, he's got Drake. He's got Derrick Henry, Drake London, Zach Ertz, AJ Brown. I mean, and a decent kicker. and Dart. So it's like he actually is capable of a lot. I think maybe what's hurting him right now is like the inconsistency of Derrick Henry. He came out swinging with 30 points week 1 and then has just been kind of like, ramping steadily since then. He dropped down, wasn't getting that much share. He's really TD dependent at this point. And the next couple of weeks. Yeah, if he can squeeze out a win the next couple of weeks, then Derrick Henry has a lighter schedule, week 12 and 13. So I don't know. It's like Tony right now not looking good with 3 wins, but if he can get lucky, let's see, who does he play next week or this week? He's actually projected to win against you, Johnny. So this week could be pretty telling for Tony because that means that he starts getting in position to potentially fight for a playoff spot, a playoff seed. If he can squeeze out 4 wins, now he's right on the cusp because Tyler and Ian are facing off. So one of those teams are going to lose, and that's going to open up the opportunity for Tony to have an at-bat. So if he he could boomerang. I mean, even though he's sitting at 9th, like there still are the 5 and 6 spot are still wide open.
Right. Yeah.
Again, Ian and Tyler are facing off this week, so one of them has to lose.
Yeah, 5 and 6. Exactly. Yeah, 5 or 6 are open. There's it could be a lot of movement in this. It seems like there's definitely separation here, right? With the 2-win mark, so there could be a lot of movement here. But man, Tony and I are facing off. That's crazy, man. It's a pretty critical game for both an 8-9 matchup there. The loser, is definitely in an uphill battle for sure. So that'll be interesting. Okay, Isaiah. Like I said, Lamar was hurt, right? Missed time. He started Baker Mayfield though during that period, and Baker's been pretty good. I think. How many points? I think this last week he didn't have a good week, right? Points wise, he only scored 93 this week, right? So not great. The week before that, he was 118. His point total is the lowest. Just over 1,000.
I don't know if he's logging in. Like I'm looking at a game right now. He started Lamar Jackson. So this is what on earth?
Last one is week 9. Let's see.
Well, no, because I was looking at I'm looking at the schedule. So one of his losses where he scored 68, he started Lamar Jackson, who was on bye. He started Tyler Loop, who was on bye, and Deebo Samuel was 0%. So it's like,
what week was that?
Yeah, that was. Let's see, that was week 7. So I don't know. I think maybe he was doing pretty well. He had started out with 2 wins, then he was in the mix like week 4 and 5, and then and week 5 he lost to Phil by 145 to 156. So he was still there, and maybe he just lost focus week 6 and 7, scoring less than 100 points. And so I don't know. Maybe he's checked out, and he'd just be ready for the. He's just. He started out so pumped up and ready to go full of energy, and I think he got disheartened.
2-0. He started off 2-0. We did the podcast, and he was in it, But I wonder if once he got he lost 4 in a row, maybe that would have been week 6 there. Maybe he was like, F this, I'm just tired or something.
I mean, it's a good segue into the punishment. It's like, hey,
talk about that.
You like pancakes, brother? Because we're about to be eating a stack. He could actually make. Right now, he doesn't need to be last. He could have a shot just like anybody else to at least get out of right. It's not even playoffs, just get out of last place.
You just got to win those what it was, a week 16, 17 of the season or whatnot. Right?
I know. So I mean, the punishment, same as last year, is 24 hours at IHOP or 24 pancakes.
You don't want to switch it? No switch up?
Well, no, there's still the choice, and we can't switch it now. I feel like because we can't switch it after seasons in motion.
Yeah,
but the other one was working out in that bright green singlet that says "I suck at fantasy football," and you got to go to your local gym for an hour and do a workout. The third option is 5 minutes of stand up comedy at an open mic night.
Man, I like that. Okay, yeah, I know something like that we could we could film. You could bring your wife or one, and she could film it or something like that.
Yeah.
And all. But yeah, I mean, the pancake idea.
So
somebody wants to do that. It was fun having the.
well, that's
the
what
link
Josh
open.
did.
We could all chime in there. We were all
Yeah.
jumping in the chime bridge or the meetings bridge, right? That was fun.
Well,
so yeah, do you want to open? It's an option. This would be an option.
Yeah, no, you get a choice of those three.
Okay.
And
all right.
And you have to pass the penalty czars bar. So basically Josh Davis is going to determine whether or not you're getting evicted from the league or if you successfully pass your punishment.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah. I mean, he's the only one to have carried out the deed, thus far.
Yeah.
Thinking,
but
Ryan, damn it, Ryan.
I know. R.I.P. All right, man. I'm smoked. I gotta go to bed here.
For you. All right. Well, that was cool, man. No, very, very good. I think there's definitely a lot to play for. Everyone's still pretty much in. I mean, even Isaiah. Even though he's a little bit further removed. Keep playing hard, and we'll just see what happens in the end. Excited to see the playoff bracket when it's all done.